Here's some unexpected news floating around the MMO community right now. We're about to get the release of what Ankama are calling Dofus 3.0. For those of you who haven't heard of this game, Dofus is actually an incredible tactical turn-based MMO RPG made by a French company called Ankama. If you've never heard of Dofus, there's still a chance you've heard of their other flagship title, Wakfu. It's a very similar game, but it also actually has an animated TV series with the same name. Before I record my live reaction to this news, I actually thought the two games were basically identical. I have played both games, but as I didn't want to pay a monthly subscription to Dofus, I leaned more towards Wakfu being the free-to-play version, but I was always told that Dofus was actually the better game. Let's break down the news as simple as possible, since as you're going to find out further and further into this video, I really don't know anything about Dofus, even though I actually have hundreds, maybe even thousands of hours in Wakfu. December the 3rd, 2024 seems to be the set release for what's being called Dofus 3.0 or Dofus Unity. Some changes are liquid and trees, moving from what looked like flat PNGs to actual animated textures. Animations across the board are being improved, and the UI functionality and visually is actually much better. And with any luck, we'll get some general quality of life improvements as well. Right now, you're able to pre-register via their website, and there's two options for this: single account or multi-account. When most games punish their community for attempting to multi-box, Ankama actually fully supports it. Back when I was playing Wakfu, a big update dropped, allowing you to use your other characters in your party, almost removing the need for other players entirely. Not only that, but if you have one character at level 180, your second character actually earns 2 times XP up until the same level as your main character. If you have a third character, you can get 3 times experience up until you reach the level of your second character, and then it's 2 times XP up until you are the same level as your main character. This is a really cool feature. I've not really seen it done anywhere else before. The problem is this eliminates the need to find groups. Dofus is a subscription-based game, and I believe the system allows you to have up to 3 other accounts joining you and following you around. You do still need to control them, however, so you are going to need 4 active subscriptions. The cost is low, it's about £4 per account per month, but more dedicated players won't have the need for other players, and so they're going to happily go about the game solo, leaving players that want to focus on one account struggling to find suitable parties for the various dungeons available. That's where single account servers come in. Everybody is forced to use a single account, unless I suppose they want to alt-tab between the accounts and control each one separately. I personally will be registering. Alongside the 101,000 other users right now, I'm going to go down the single account option. Since I don't know the game very well, I want to experience it properly and party up with other people, join guilds. This is a game that uses the sort of holy trinity, so we have tanks, healers and DPS. So I want to experience all of that properly. Right now I'm actually trying to get some experience in Dofus in preparation. I'm playing through both the regular, and once I'm a subscriber, I'm going to give the new Unity beta a try. Before I go into how well, or not well that's going, I just want to make a quick note about a pay to win in these games, as I keep forgetting to cover that in my other videos. I recall in Wakfu there were ways to turn real money into in-game money, but I don't think it's through any official sources. In terms of the cash shops, you can buy pets, sidekicks, mounts, Haven bag, and cosmetics. The mounts could be potentially seen as pay to win, as they will give you a movement speed bonus at the beginning, but it costs around £2 to £3, so I honestly don't really care about it. In Wakfu though, these mounts definitely gave stat boosts, and that I care a bit more about. Sidekicks can be summoned in place of characters, but I remember them being kind of meh in Wakfu, and I can never be bothered leveling them up, since I'd rather just use my other characters. I don't remember if pets do anything. It could again be another potential small stat bonus. And a Haven bag, if I remember right, is basically like a player housing. In short, there is very little to no pay to win here at all. I will quickly add that Dofus though is not a free to play game, in the same sense that old school RuneScape is not a free to play game. You can try to play without subscription, but you'll get access to very little parts of the game. Wakfu is a free to play game. I think you can easily play the whole game as a free to play player. But like I said, I like to multi-character, so you do have to pay a subscription for that. And the reason I did that was because honestly it's just too difficult to find groups. Even being in a pretty active guild at the time, filled with pretty good players in all different classes. So finally, I have decided to download the latest version of Dofus, as well as the Dofus 3.0 beta. I've got hundreds of hours on a class called Masquerade, and they were my favourite class in Wakfu. They weren't my highest level, as that was my level 180 or so Ossa. They're this sort of summoner dragon hybrid class. They were really super powerful and they were very useful. My next highest level character was something called the Fogonaut, who used something I think is called Stasis. And this always hits the enemies for their lowest elemental resistance. It also reduces their resistances further. This is where we move on to Dofus, as this was a huge surprise. I started out as a Masquerade only to find out I don't have access to a body double. I don't seem to have anywhere near the movement I had in Wakfu, I don't really seem to have much support skills either, and I gotta admit, I don't particularly like this class very much on Dofus, so I decided to do some research, but it's really hard to get any information on this game. Some parts of the official forum haven't had posts in well over a year, and the content on YouTube is almost entirely in French. Well, I have to admit, the language actually sounds really nice when you're hearing someone who knows how to speak it, but I can't understand a word of French. It seems Fogonaut is actually one of the top ranked classes right now, despite them playing nothing like they did in Wakfu. We've lost the ability to place down rails, summon a big turret, and move freely along the rails for one movement point, in place of summoning multiple different towers and upgrading the ones that we like. I'll admit I'm not totally against this, and I might actually still play the Fogger, despite them being more humanoid here. They were robots in Wakfu. The Ossa though, holy hell are they cool. We've lost the dragon transformation in place of a transformation that's totally dependent on what summon you have out. You can become a version of a dragon, just doesn't look as cool. Or you become this massive gobble warlord. Apparently though, they're in a really bad spot, and they're incredibly weak right now, sitting at the bottom of many tier lists. I just don't know why, since again almost all this content is in French. And this is weird, considering I can't understand the word they're saying. I was strangely engrossed in just watching the content anyway. I watched so many tier lists and watching people just placing the classes all over the place. I just don't have a clue why anyone was placed where. And if I wasn't so terrible at learning language, I'd actually love to pick up French right now, but I can't actually even speak my mother tongue, which I guess is technically Welsh. But I'll admit, I'm not picking up this game anywhere near as quickly as I thought. Like I said earlier, I've got hundreds, possibly even thousands of hours in Wakfu. I thought this would be easy to learn, but the information is just not out there. So I guess I'll have to make the information through brute force and just learning the game. Once I got the hang of things and actually found a class I enjoy playing, I'll definitely make some videos covering the basics, and I'll be sure to do plenty of testing on the beta version and make some videos on it before its full release December the 3rd. Anyway, I'll leave that with you. If you have any information on the game, or you know where to find or keep up with information, please do let me know in the comments down below. I really appreciate that. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye bye.